Hi everybody, we are here in beautiful downtown Trevithick Dock in LHS 3447. This is a starting system for a lot of players, and the reason that we're here is I want to talk to everybody about practical engineering. That is, not everybody is a PvPer, but with the release of Horizons and the engineers that went along with them, you're at a technological disadvantage if you don't go ahead and get at least some upgrades for your ship. It doesn't matter if you're a courier, it doesn't matter if you're a smuggler, it doesn't matter what you do. Without going ahead and getting some of the basics, you are at a greater chance of having problems if you are in open, if you end up getting interdicted by other players. So, we're going to go ahead and take a look at an engineer called Elvira. The reason that we're after her is she has some basic upgrades for faster than light drives, for thrusters, and I believe also for some shield generators. Everything that we need to make our ships jump a little bit more efficiently, run a little bit faster, and take that extra hit just in case we end up needing it. What we have here is a absolutely non-engineered A-spec Cobra. I would do the normal thing of running through the hard points, utility mounts, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. Everything here is A-spec with the exception of the life support system, which is D-rated because it's just going to end up saving weight. The only thing we're going to go over is the optional stuff, which is a shield generator, a B-rated fuel scoop. It scoops a little slower than an A-rated, but will save you a couple $1,000,000. We have some cargo that we're going to end up needing. And I put in an advanced discovery scanner. This is going to end up helping us later on with Elvira, because you can sell exploration data for her for some additional rank. As long as we're going on a road trip, we might as well scan some stuff and get a few bucks, and also rank up with the engineer. In order to go ahead and unlock her completely, she has a few requirements. She is one of the ones that you know from public knowledge. You have to travel at least 300 light years from the point that you started, and that is one of the reasons why I'm here in LHS 3447. It's also near Everett. This is where a whole lot of pilots start their careers. So I want to show you that even if you haven't traveled 300 light years, while you go to get the final piece, these rare items called Soontil relics, you can complete that 300 light year trip. So let's go ahead and take a look at where we need to go, and also taking care of that 300 light year trip in case you would need to. Soontil relics are available in a system called Naguri. And as you can see, when we travel all the way over there, it has a distance of 218 light years from where we're currently at. That's great. With this ship, in this configuration, we don't really need to land anywhere. As long as we don't get into any kind of real big trouble, it's not that big of a deal to just simply travel a little further out. Travel a little further out. And then go ahead and loop back to where we need to go. That's what I recommend. Yeah, it's an additional 82 light years to your trip. In this ship, it's probably going to be another 4, maybe 5 jumps. So get that 300 light years, come back to Naguri. Charanovsky City is our destination. We've plotted a route, and let's take a look at how many jumps, I should say. 11 jumps in our A-spec Cobra. let's get our road trip started. I'm doing this in open. If I end up having any real big significant issues, I've got an additional Cobra that I can go ahead and take, just in case that has had some engineer mods, or we can do it in solo. Either way, it's not that big of a deal. One of the reasons I'm also taking this ship is...
Frameshift drive charging.
Is that out there? Sidewinder. Okay. One of the other reasons that I'm taking this ship is it is not one of the giant ships. It's not a Python. It's not a Fertile Lance. It's not anything that you would normally sit there and expect people to put a lot of engineering effort into. But it is a ship that a lot of folks in the beginning of their career, or in my case, even midway through, have. It is a great ship to fly. It's a lot of fun to fly. There's no reason not to go ahead and give it some of that engineering love to go ahead and make it an absolute crazy thing to just zip around the galaxy with. As we're getting just a little bit more gas, I've flipped on over to the Discovery Scanner, scanned the system, and have jumped on to the next one. As long as nothing else is going on, I'm just going to hush up, be quiet, and we'll probably edit this because I doubt much is going to really happen in these next few jumps until we get to that system, or at least until we get close. Alright, what we're doing is a bit of a safety stop. We just made it to the point through 9 jumps. The reason we're going into this stop is we're going to go into an area in open that other people need to pick up relics for engineers as well. If, for any reason, we end up getting blown up, we will have a rebuy at the station that we were last docked at. So, instead of having us rebuy this Cobra over at Trevithick, we're going to go head here to Alber's Gateway, which just so happened to be the closest thing inside the system. We're going to just dock, touch down, maybe top off the tank if need be, and continue on our way. But the whole reason is, again, last station we docked at. We get blown up, no big deal, the ship's not that expensive, and we'll just end up being close to our destination if we have to start over. Think of it as just a little bit of a safety stop, I suppose. Some other important things to remember is that I'm not carrying any cargo on this trip out. Again, for maximum jump range, which is understandable. But I'm also not affiliated with any kind of power play power. If I was, I would be interdicted inside these systems left and right by other power play NPCs, and would make the trip just that much more painful. It's going to be a little bit more difficult on the way back because we're going to be carrying cargo to Elvira's system. We're going to get interdicted at least once. We're going to have to deal with potentially other players and pirates.
Docking request granted.
Do yourself a favor. Don't have power play while you're doing this. It's just going to be less interdictions to do.
Engines disengaged.
Okay, we're just going to top off the fuel tank and continue on our route. Stock. I have no idea what I purchased. Probably the missile launchers for this ship. Carry a pair of medium beam lasers and a pair of missile launchers.
Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
NPCs are starting to populate. If there were any other players, they would again start to appear right here as well. One thing I didn't do was I didn't turn on my bandwidth meter. You can hit Control B on your keyboard. Look in the lower left right now, and you see it has a bandwidth send receive. I just turned it on. If you have the bandwidth meter on by hitting Control B, you're able to go ahead and check to see when your computer is communicating back and forth. If you see it start to spike, it's starting to do something. And that can be connecting to other players' computers because they're coming into your instance. It's just a bit of a heads up before they would appear down on the radar in the actual game. It's still included. We're not fighting, we're running. This is just something I consider a bit of a heads up in case I need to know there's trouble that's going to end up coming my way. So we're going to keep that on for a little bit. It'll come in to really help us later on when we end up getting over to Elvira's area. I want to know if there's going to end up being other players over there. I'm also going to check this on a regular basis because it will end up seeing players that I don't. As far as being able to communicate to them. It'll also tell me exactly what they are. Before the engineers came out, Cobra was one of the fastest boosting ships in the game. There really was very little that you never had to worry about. The shields on it would hold out just about long enough for you to be able to run away either out of weapon range or to highway to a completely different star system. Now with the engineers, a completely high-graded ship, for instance a Fer-de-Lance, can now outrun a Cobra and completely strip off the shields and kill you before a high wake will even fully charge. It's a bit of a problem, and that's why we're also nipping it in the bud and taking care of it with some of these minor upgrades. It won't completely get you out of any kind of problems, but it will give you a bit of an advantage to help keep yourself alive, especially in open. Okay, we'll turn off our bandwidth meter for now.
Landing complete.
Top off the fuel tank, head on over to the commodities market. We're going to buy a few things here. First we're going to look for is these Soontil relics. Elvira, from our engineers over here, tells us we need 3. This is a rare good, so even though she needs 3, we're going to buy all 5 that we have available to us. It's just additional money in our pocket at this point, especially since we're going to be traveling such a ways back to where she is. Also, if we end up being pirated, I'll be more than happy to play along and give them a couple of Soontil relics and some other stuff, so that way they'll end up just being happy to not shoot us and leave us with the 3 we need to unlock the engineer. In that then, we're going to go ahead and look for whatever they have supplies for at this station that we can use as kind of a bartering tool if we end up in any kind of trouble. Marine equipment looks kind of expensive. We have that here. Anything else? Some minerals. Anything that would look really nice. We don't want Imperial slaves. Those can be illegal depending on where you go. Alright, looks like we're going to buy some marine equipment too. This is going to drop our jump range, but not enough for it to really make too much of a difference. And we're just going to buy 10, because it's a nice round number. And this way, in case we would end up getting pirated, they won't be too upset. Alright, we got what we need. Let's find out where her home system is. 376 light years out. boring 20 jumps to Kun. Ugh. Well, alright. This isn't actually that bad. I'm going to go ahead and get everything started. I'm going to edit out all these jumps. The only thing that we have to worry about is if we get interdicted, because now we're carrying some cargo. Beyond that, I'll see you over at Elvira's.
Landing coupler disengaged. You may...
Alright. We're about to jump in on the system with Elvira in it. And we're just going to go ahead and make sure that we are absolutely ready to run away in case there is anybody who attempts to just quickly jump in on us, interdict us, and shoot us. So for that, we're going to turn on our bandwidth meter. Remember, Control B. Make sure your systems for your shields are set to 4 pips, and then your engines are set to 2. I could also go ahead and set a additional jump point beyond that, so that way I wouldn't have to worry about it should I get interdicted. I'm going to do something bad and not do it. Let's go ahead and jump on in.
Frameshift drive charging.
Falcon Delacey, Mike, Romeo, Foxtrot, flight control, online. Welcome, Commander. Request docking permission if you wish to land. Clearance granted. Proceed to landing pad 01.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, this planet has some gravity on it. Come on, baby.
Landing gear retracted.
Heck, the gear was actually stuck.
Landing gear deployed.
That is one of the ugliest landings I think I've ever had.
Landing operation complete. Commence system shutdown. Welcome, Commander.
Okay, let's fuel it up. Let's go make friends. And we are ready to work with Elvira. We haven't unlocked the ability to give her the exploration data yet. So let's see what she can do. We have dirty drive tuning. We have drive strengthening. Clean drive tuning. For this ship, we're going to take one of the strengths of the Cobra and just compound a sin here. The difference between dirty drive tuning and clean drive tuning is this clean drive will use a little bit more power but generate less heat at the expense of performance. It's still going to perform better than a standard drive, but it is not going to perform as good as if we go over here to the dirty drive. The dirty drive is going to take the power that we have for the thrusters, and it is it's kind of like you're boring and stroking the motor and getting as much performance as you can out of the drive that you have. So let's do it. go ahead, defrost generate, and let's see what she does. Alright. Not the best. So what do you say we try? Maybe I don't. Alright, looks like this is what we're stuck with. So let's go ahead and just apply it here. Our shield generator. We want our shield generator to be more shield generatory, so let's go ahead and look up what we have. Kinetic, it'll increase the ability to resist kinetic bullets. Low power. Low power will also mean lower mass, so if we were going for a speed build, we could go ahead and use different versions of low power shields to get the shield to be lighter, but we're not. We just want our shields to work better, and that's going to be the reinforced shields here. Let's see what kind of performance we get. I think we might roll this one again. It's a little on the low side. Though lowering mass by that much, if we're going for speed, would be great. Let's try again. She really seems to want to keep that 7% strength. You can always hope for something higher. It's good. Not great. Good. Okay, now thermal resistant. Oh. That's terrible. Elvira, do you really know what you're doing here? I don't think she does. I think she's kind of making it up as she goes along. Alright. This we can live with. This we can really live with. It's a much better shield than what we had stocked. And it costs us, at this point I think I rolled that 3 times, so that's 3 phosphorus. For 3 phosphorus, stuff you're going to be coming across in your everyday adventures, you end up with a shield that's going to protect you this bit better. Yeah, keep it. And look, we're already grade 2 access. Frameshift drive, we want to go ahead and jump further. Yep, costs us. We can roll on this 18 times. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and do this. And create. Increase in mass, uses a little bit less. Sure, why not? Let's keep it. Okay, we're already grade 2 with Elvira. Let's see what else she can make. What do you say? Engines, shield generator we worked on. Shield. I don't have a shield cell bank on this ship. That's okay. We came here to go ahead and make our ship better. And we did. It is now faster. The shield generator works better. The frame shift drive jumps further. And it costs us a handful of resources which are very easy to get in just your standard normal play. Also, the amount of time that it cost us was roughly an hour. For those folks who don't sit here in front of the computer playing this game day and night, an hour can be a lot for this game. And an hour to make our ship work that much better. We now have a boost of 475. We now know that our ship used to be 444. We're now that much faster. Our shield integrity at 216 is wonderful, along with the additional resistances that that little bit of resource cost us. It was great. We are jumping much further, and there is no real downside to what has happened for this ship. Let's go take it for a spin. What do you say?
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Alright, we traveled all this way. Let's go ahead and sell the rare goods. Made quite a bit of money on those. Going to go and sell. What else have we got? Marine equipment. Probably going to lose money on that, but that's okay. Those were there just in case we needed to buy off some pirates. Alright. The ship is now empty. No cargo. Let's go and take it out for a spin around the space station. See what kind of performance we got out of those thrusters now. And for fun, we're going to put all pips to engines because why wouldn't you put all your pips to engines if you're going to go ahead and test out a dirty drive upgrade? Lift off, landing gear up.
Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
Accelerating out, looks like our cruise is now hitting 332 and boost. Okay, received 474. Let's put it into the blue. Let's see how she's going to go ahead and spin around and dance for us. Absolutely no problems with this. Let's see if I can just go ahead and go back on our own contrails. I didn't even turn flight assist off for that. Yeah, she can. So I'd say that was worth it. And again, an hour of time, got paid some profit by carrying those extra relics over the distance, and you end up with a ship that is just better. It can go ahead, fly easier, it's better protected, and it can jump further for no real large downside. Again, can't recommend going ahead and getting started with the engineers. There's a lot more to them than just these simple upgrades, especially if you start delving into shields or specific builds or a way to go ahead and target a specific strength and compound it to make your ship do that much better, or to go ahead and cover weaknesses of ships. If you have a ship that has a really lousy amount of protection, you can target those too. It opens up a whole new part of the game. But it also will help keep you alive. Having a ship that's faster and has a better shield will mean that whatever you run into is going to have that much of a harder time both catching you and also disabling your ship. So I recommend going out, unlock Elvira, get some of the basics, and it costs a whole hour worth of gameplay. Fly safe, Commanders.